अग्रणीर्ग्रामणी श्रीमान् न्यायो नेता समीरणः सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् अग्रणीर्ग्रामणी श्रीमान् अग्रणीर्ग्रामणी श्रीमान् अग्रणीर्ग्रामणी श्रीमान् न्यायो नेता समीरणः न्यायो नेता समीरणः न्यायो नेता समीरणः सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् अग्रणीर्ग्रामणी श्रीमान् न्यायो नेता समीरणः सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात्. In this shloka number 24, we have 10 names from 218 to 227. The 218th nama is Agranihi. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Agranye Namaha. As per dictionary, the meaning for this word are foremost and leader. Agre Nayati iti Agranihi. One who leads us from the front is Agranihi. Shankaracharya expresses this as Agram Prakrishtam Padam Nayati Mumukshun. Here, Acharya says one who renders the path of progress to those who have a burning desire for liberation. Mumukshu. In Vaishnava Parampara, the beings are classified into four. Nityasuri, those who are already liberated and eternally serving the Lord. Jnani, those who have attained the liberation but are still bound by their prarabdha karma, living their life in this world. Mumukshu, those in the path of learning but are still bound by karma. Baddha, those who are merely enjoying the world, bound and going through successes and failures, excitements and depressions. One who leads all of them is Bhagavan, hence he is called Agranihi. We emphasize on the value of bhakti as it is only devotion that will help us see the path that God shows as we develop the desire to know. The 219th nama is Gramani. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Gramanye Namaha. The term Gram is used in the context of a village and is a common word in use to date. However, Gram means a collection. Thus, collection of several homes and beings in an area is called Gram, a village. Similarly, collection of several Indriyas into a Sharir is also called Gram. Gramanihi means one who leads such a collection. The greatness of Sanatana Dharma is that every collection of entities is devoted to God having its own identity. While most religions speak of one God, they tend to objectify the God and establish that there is one supernatural power which is God. On the other hand, the Vedic tradition emphasizes the same but defines the term one in relation to an expressed entity. For an individual, it could be an Ishta Devata. For Kul, there is Kula Devata, and for Gram, there is Grama Devata. And as it rolls up into Prakriti, the entire creation, we have Purushaha. And everything put together is called Paramatma, the One Supreme. The value we attribute on God is that immaterial of how you define a field. The one who leads us in that field is God, seen in a form that most suits that collection. Shankaracharya establishes this concept in his Anubhavam for this nama as Bhuta Gramasya Netritvad Gramanihi. The 220th nama is Shriman. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Shrimate Namaha. The nama occurs 4 times in Vishnu Sahasranama. Previously, we saw this in shloka number 3 and shloka number 19. Now, in this shloka number 24, and we will be seeing it again in shloka number 65. We had earlier taken the meaning of Shri to represent Mata or goddess Lakshmi, as in the consort of Lord Vishnu. For the second instance, the value attributed was one who holds prosperity in the heart. For this nama, the value of radiance is taken. Shankaracharya gives his Anubhavam as Shri Kantihi, wherein Kanti means radiance. Sarvarthi Shayin. Shayin means resting, reclining or abiding. Yasya, of whose the radiance is resting and abiding in all, is Shriman. We emphasize that a leader having established his or her prowess, as seen in the previous namas, it is important that we ensure our radiance, our tejas is resting and abiding in all, in the field that I associate myself with. This should be your responsibility, but should become the nature and not an exercised authority. The 221st nama is Nyayah. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Nyayaya Namaha. This is a common term in use even today to represent justice. However, the term is used in other contexts as well, more as a technical word which means logical arguments or tarka together with yukti, the lines of contemplations that lead us to establish the transactional truth. Shankaracharya uses this technical meaning to express his Anubhavam as Pramana Anugrahaka Abhedakarakaha Tarko Nyayah. Pramana is the means of knowledge. Anugrahaka, that which enables conformity. Abhedakaraka. Karaka means factor, as in one that causes or produces, and abheda means or absence of differences, and tarka means conjecture, an opinion or conclusion formed on the basis of logical reasoning and rational inquiry. This is a very beautiful expression on how to bring collective vision on aspects with incomplete information. We use this as a concept in leadership trainings as well. And because Bhagavan or Dharma becomes the means to unite, he is called Nyayah. I would like to share an important note here. Arguments or discussions that we encounter are categorized into 3 kinds: Vadam, Vitanda and Jalpa. Vadam, also referred to as Samvadam, is that which is undertaken with the purpose of establishing the truth or finding out the truth. Vitanda are arguments where the intention is to merely prove the other person wrong. Jalpa are those which uses the power or position to subdue, frighten or insult the opponent. Consider yourself blessed when you encounter Vadam. However, if you encounter Vitanda, remember it is best to give time for the conversation to become a Vadam. Objective should be to align with the opposing views to bring sense towards the truth ultimately. Jalpa, however, is for you to contemplate on the path you have architected and reconsider appropriate revisions. In Mahabharata, we can see a beautiful samvad between Arjuna and Lord Krishna that guides the entire world even today in the form of Bhagavad Gita. For this reason, Bhagavan is called Nyayah. The 222nd Nama is Neta. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Netre Namaha. The Nama was seen as a pratyaya, a suffix to the Nama Yoga Vidam Neta in Shloka number 3. Neta is a common word in use and means a leader. If we go into describing the position, the term represents one who fulfills the requests of the followers. Alternately, one who manages or regulates the affairs representing multiple subjects. Shankaracharya expresses his Anubhavam as Jagad Yantra Nirvahiko Neta. He manages or regulates the affairs of this machinery called the world. Shri Parashara Bhattar in the Vaishnava Visishtadvaita school expresses his Anubhavam as Niyuktum Karoti Iti Neta. One who entrusts the functioning of this world is Lord Vishnu. Hence he is called Neta. The value we stress for meditation is a combination of the two. While it is important to manage or regulate the affairs of the collection that you are part of as a leader, it is important for you to realize that such regulation should be done by entrusting the functions appropriately. A great value to meditate for us to improve on these lines. The 223rd Nama is Samiranah. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Samiranaya Namaha. The word, as per dictionary, has several meanings like wind of the body, traveler, throwing, stimulating, setting in motion, promotion, etc. Shankaracharya expresses his Anubhavam as Shvasana Rupena Bhutani Cheshtayati. The na in Shvasana is not negation. It is a part of the suffix forming Swashana, implying a process or activity related to breathing. In the form of breathing, one who regulates the functions of the beings is Bhagavan, and hence he is called Samiranah. For this Nama, we emphasize the importance of pranayama as the value to meditate and practice on this Nama. Breathing has a vital role in every kind of physical and emotional manifestations in you. When you eat more or when you are emotionally charged, your breathing changes. Alternately, if you are able to regulate your breathing, your emotional and physical health also changes. One must exercise prana ikshana and pranayama in their life is the value we get from this Nama Samiranah. The 224th Nama is Sahasramurdhaha. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Sahasramurdhaye Namaha. Sahasra is 1000 and Murdha is heads, one with 1000 heads. We will also see another Nama which is Shatananaha, the 100-faced. The emphasis is many or countless faces. The 226th and the 227th namas are Sahasraksha and Sahasrapat. We will look at the value for the three namas together when discussing the nama Sahasrapat. The 225th nama is Vishwatma. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Vishwatmane Namaha. While this nama emphasizes that Bhagavan is the soul of the world, we will also see the nama Vishwamurtihi in shloka number 77, which establishes that this manifested form that you experience is also Bhagavan. Together, the value attributed to God is one who pervades the entire manifestation as existence, the Sad Swarupam, and the conscious principle, Chit or Chaitanya Swarupam, the Atma Swarupam, which is represented in this nama. The value that is attributed to God in this nama is one who unites all that our buddhi divides. The differences in appearances or in our thoughts is merely a division of what actually is one. Divisions are done by our buddhi, and the divided parts are given a name and a form or characteristics. Nama Rupabhyam Eva is the way Upanishads put it. Not only we divide, but also start seeing such divided parts to be the truth. Samsara or bondage is experienced as a result of attributing truth to the divisions that the intellect or buddhi is making. The divisions that the buddhi makes is all but natural. Ignorance is the attribution of truth to it. All turbulences that we experience are due to this. These turbulences can be experienced by all and are further classified as Kamam, the lust, Krodham, the anger, Lobham, the greed, Moham, delusion, Matham, intoxication, and Matsaryam, envy. The inherent truth is oneness, which is Vishwatma. The value to meditate is the realization of this oneness in the divided experiences that we encounter. The 226th nama is Sahasraksha. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Sahasrakshaya Namaha. Sahasra is 1000. Akshaha means eyes, one with 1000 eyes. The emphasis is many or countless eyes. Shankaracharya expresses Akshi representing the eyes and Aksha representing all Indriyas with this nama. Sahasran Yakshin Yakshani Va is the way he puts it. The 224th and the 227th namas are Sahasramurdha and Sahasrapat. We will look at the value for all the three names together when discussing the next nama, which is Sahasrapat. The 227th nama is Sahasrapat. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Sahasrapade Namaha. The term path means feet. One who has 1000 feet is the literal meaning of this nama. We also have the nama Ekapath in shloka 82, representing God as having 1 foot. We attribute the value that the nama represents that all feet are united as one. The nama Sahasramurdhaha represents head. The symbolism is associated with the intellect or intelligence. All the heads that radiates intelligence are the divided expressions of one undivided intellect is the value attributed to Bhagavan here. The Nama Sahasraksha represents eyes. The term eye is associated with seeing and not the organ eye. Like we say, let's taste and see. You don't visually see the taste, but you experience the tasting. Thus, as Shankaracharya puts it, it is the Akshaha should not only be seen as the organ eye, but also as every knowledge-giving sense organ. All the means of input that appear divided to the human intellect is actually an expression of one undivided God, the Parabrahma. The Nama Sahasrapat represents actions, movements and activities that bring about a change to the manifested experience. Using the Nama Sahasrapat, we establish the unison in activities and changes that happen around us. Changes include those we see and cognize or those which are unrealized but eventually participate in a cognizable event. Vishwatma emphasizes the internal oneness. The Nama Sahasramurdha represents your intellect. Sahasraksha represents knowledge. Sahasrapat represents your actions. The conscious ability to see the oneness in all the divided experiences that we have is the value that we meditate on this line of the shloka. Sahasramurdha Vishwatma Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat. Together, this line is a reminder to us that Bhagavan is everywhere and in everything.